YouTube? It's your boy One Killer Scat back at it again with another video. Let's get it. Hey yo, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Get me some more engagement. I went ahead and put that Hyper Pro Max Underglow on my charger back there, and I've got some special gems for y'all. So make sure you watch this video in its full so I can tell you everything that I like and I don't like about this Underglow. That way, if you want to go get it, you can. And if you had any questions, hit me up in my comments. Without further ado, let's get it. All right, just to start this video off, it is completely about the Underglow. My grill lights are on a separate controller. So this video will be completely about the Underglow, not the grill lights and what they're doing. I just love to have them on at the same time. So they'll be doing what they're doing and we'll get right into the Underglow, y'all. All right, first things first, this Underglow has brake lights. It has DRL lights. It has left and right turn signals. So those features are all on the controller that I have. I got the Bluetooth 2.0 controller that comes with it with the actual remote control that you see here, so I can cut it on and off. I love this little feature that it does have when it cuts off, but I can do that all from the controller, change the lights, change patterns, go red, green, you know, all the colors, even change the modes and have it do all type of stuff. All right, so that's one of the good features about this controller, that you can get it with this handheld Bluetooth versus just always having to go on your phone. So when you are shooting videos or you're walking around, you can just change it with the controller. I do love that aspect. Let me show you one of the other things that I did, and then we'll get into some of the things that I do and I don't like about this Underglow. So I'm gonna cut it off, and then you see I'm gonna hit the unlock button. And then you see how it's flashing underneath. That is a special feature that I hooked up. You can hook your brake lights up to the wire that'll control brakes. I didn't. I have a 3-way switch in my car that allows me to use this as a courtesy feature. Now, what I like about the courtesy feature is when I come to my doors and I open the doors, my Underglow is going to go red. The whole Underglow is going to go red on this car. That's the brake feature, but I have it hooked up what I call a courtesy feature. Now, with that being said, I do have a switch in the car that I could make it hook up and I could make it go white. Now, on that light that's underneath there, those there are 2 lights under there. One of them cuts on and off with the doors. The other one cuts off with your courtesy lights inside of the cars. I have it the one that cuts on and off with the doors. I also ran my switch over here. So if I come over here, feeling forward right now, and I decide to change it to the other side, it'll go white. And that's the DRL feature. And as long as those doors are open, that Underglow is going to be white. I love that feature because anytime I come to my car at nighttime, I open those doors, everything's gonna light up. Now, I like it on the red. Sometimes I will switch it to white because I do like it on the white as well. And when that actual light inside the car cuts off or I lock the doors, it will go off. Now, it does that flashing because that light in there dims. And you need a consistent 12 volts. And since it's dimming, it's not giving you 12 volts anymore. So it's not getting the proper amount of voltage to it. It'll eventually cut off. Now, I like the little feature where it flashes, but there is a way to hook it up so that you can have it just cut on and just cut off. I kind of like this feature right now the way it is, so I left it. So once again, I unlock the car. My turn signals light up and then it goes orange underneath and then it starts flashing. I open those doors and it will go all white. If I flip the switch to the other side, it'll go all red. If I lock it, it will stop because that light on the inside of the car is going to go off. So whenever I unlock it, that light comes on, which makes my Underglow cut on. And when I lock it back, it will cut off. So that's one thing that I like about this that most people aren't going to have. So If you like that feature, you want some more explanations on how to do it, what wire to connect to, get in my comments, hit me up. I need the engagement. Write me on Instagram, let me know, and I'll explain to you how to do that feature. These lights are ridiculously bright. They are crazy bright. I love this. They advertise well. They did not disappoint on the brightness of these lights. So I would recommend them for how bright they are. I do want to hook a ghost controller up to them and see if they can run it, because I was hearing that the ghost controller was having some issues trying to push these lights because of how bright they are, and trying to get that signal over a long run would cause some flashing. But eventually I will get another ghost controller and check it out. But look, man, look how bright these lights are. Now, I really love these lights. Now, this is the thing that I don't like about the lights. So this is my one thing that I can't stand. If you see the side and the front, how it is flowing colors and they look good because they come with the 6 strips. The back strips are so bright and so close together that I don't really get the flowing feature in the back because the strips are so close. And what's crazy about it is I have a strip going that way and I have a strip going that way. So they don't overlap. They are directly from the middle going one way and going the other. But because they're high enough up and light spreads, I don't really get the flowing feature in the back. So unless I figure out a way to shield light from each strip overlapping, I can't figure out how to make that work where it still flows. Because you can see the front is flowing, and it's just because, like, hey, those lights are, you know, all overlapping, so they kind of just light up how they do in the back and do their own thing. Of course, you know, if I went solid color, you get great light coverage. They're super bright, but that's the only downfall of how bright they are. I can't get a flow without either running one strip in the back, and then I would lose my turn signals. It wouldn't do left and right turn signal. It would do whatever one side it was hooked up to, and then the other one it wouldn't do. That would be the only way that I could think where I could make it flow evenly with one strip. But that's one thing that I don't like. So if you do know a way to fix that problem, hit me up. Write it in the comments. Send me a message on Instagram of how I could fix that. But currently at this time, I just don't know. Like I said, all of the solid colors, super bright, does it amazingly. It's just in the patterns. Certain patterns don't, you know, illuminate the way I would like for it to. Like, it's trying to do that chasing and closing like the other one it is. And it's doing it for the most part, but since it's such a small gap, you get a very little bit of a run. And like I said, with this controller, you can just change the lights. You can just change them at a whim with the controller. That's all I'm doing is using this controller and scrolling up. So that's some of the great things. And the one thing that I didn't like about this controller, you know, when I get my another blue ghost, we'll do an update video and see how they're doing it with the different patterns, because some of these patterns I'm not a fan of. I think that's just an update that they could do where they could change the patterns. They could send out a code, and, you know, once you update it, the patterns could be done better. Like, I'm not a very big fan of this pattern. It just seems weird to me, and there's a couple of them like that. There are 256 patterns on this controller. 256. So you have so many to choose from. The only thing about it for me is it seems like a lot of them basically repeat. You'll get white and red, and it'll start at different points on the strip, but it'll basically be the same chasing, white and red. So a lot of them, they just kind of repeat. Other patterns like this, I don't really like. It kind of just looks like the lights are tweaking a little bit, but it's like they're strobing the same color. And I don't really like that. I'd rather, if it was all gonna be one color, it just be solid and not move. But to me, this just kind of looks like maybe something's wrong with your lights. So that was one of the features that I think that they could do better on. Good in the premise of the idea. Maybe if you were looking directly at the LEDs, you could see it moving, but the light on the ground, since it covers so much ground, it just kind of looks like the lights are flickering a little bit, and I don't really like that aspect of it. It does this white and red chasing in so many different ways. So out of that 256, maybe there's like 75 different patterns, and then a couple of them just kind of repeat in different ways, if it's even 75. But it has great coverage. As you can see, that front strip, we don't have that same problem with the front strip. There are two strips, one going that way, one going that way in the front, and they are working absolutely fine. The patterns work, and they do a great job. So that's the whole thing. That it's just the back, since it's so close in the back, I just can't get it to work right. But in the front, I don't have that same problem. It's the exhaust is there in the back, so you kind of have to stop the lights from running through the exhaust and stuff down the line, getting too close and getting hot. So you get a limited strip in the back versus in the front. The good thing about it is, on my car, I think I ran the regular amount of strips for the fronts and the backs, and in the sides, I stepped them up to 72 inches. So I believe that the strips on the front are both 36 inches. So I have 4 36-inch strips and then 2 72-inch strips. And that strip basically runs the entire length of the side of my car. So there are no dead spots. So they did a good job making this kit friendly to the point where you could buy it for multiple different cars and it still worked for you as intended. Now, I do love the fact that you get this sequential turn signal. It does it the full length of the car. So make sure you run all 3 of your strips independent. Unfortunately, mine aren't ran independent. They didn't send me enough wire. I will have to go back and order some more wire to get another strip. Mine is basically connected from the outside, the back side of this strip. So the DO side, which is the digital output, into the digital input on the back of this strip. So with the sequential turn signal, it doesn't have enough time in the back for it to actually go ahead and cut on all the way. As you can see, it stops right about in the middle of that back door. It doesn't get enough chance to get back here. As you can see, that green light's cutting on and off on this side, because whenever you do that, whenever you do your turn signals, it will cut off and do the actual turn signal on that side. And it will do the same thing on the other side. Give me 1 second. So as you can see, on the other side, it does the same thing, sequential turn signals. So I love that at nighttime, my sequential turn signals. People love it. They're always asking me questions when they see this car out at night, because it's lit up like a Christmas tree. I run all different type of colors. I wish I would say that I would just run white, but I don't. I run a little bit of everything going down the road. And I get stopped at the gas station and people ask questions all the time, because I've had this Underglow on here for probably about a month and some change now, just now getting to actually shoot in this video. Now, the good thing about it is that when it knows that both turn signals are on, it doesn't do the sequential. It completely turns everything orange all the way. So no matter what, the full Underglow is going to go orange and give you maximum coverage for your hazard lights. So if you have this thing on the side of the road, something happens and you hit them turn signals, you're gonna have maximum coverage for your turn signals. Everything's gonna cut on and off. People will be able to see you. So that's the good thing about it, is they did think this thing through when they made it. All right, man. That's basically it for this video. One thing I do recommend at the end of this video, letting you know, man, if you install this thing, make sure you get the install brackets. I tried to put it up with just the double side tape. I actually went and got some 3M adhesive to try to help it promote the promoter, to try to help it stay up. And man, probably it wasn't even 24 hours after a rain that my strip started coming down. Now the good thing about it is I always use some zip ties in different places, so my strip didn't rub the ground and didn't tear itself up, because I always have a safety measure. But I ended up going back up and putting zip ties and the actual mountain brackets all over on the sides. The front and the back, I always just drill in and zip tie anyway. So I didn't have to retouch the front or the back. But the sides, I had to go back and put mountain brackets in both of those all the way through to make sure I didn't tear a strip up. So I would highly recommend that if you're buying this kit, they ask you, I think it's like an extra $5 if you want mountain brackets. Definitely get them. They are very much worth it. Unless you put these things in all the time and you have a specific 3M promoter that you go with that you know won't fail. Like I do know a couple people, they have one and it won't fail, and they can do that. For the common person, if you install this, make sure you get the mountain brackets and do some zip ties. I didn't want to do any more install videos. I've installed these on the channel enough. You've already seen them. If you need an install video, go back and look at some of my older videos. And it is basically the same thing over and over again. If you need any help, run into any questions, want to know more about this Underglow, man, like I said, man, put a comment in there. Just be courteous. Don't be rude in my comment section, please. Just write me a comment. Hey, man, how do you do this? If you like the car, cool. If you don't like the car, cool. Everybody has their own opinion. I just ask that y'all be respectful. This is my build. I love what I've done to the car so far. I'm gonna continue doing these type of things. So if you do like what you see on the channel, make sure you let me know, man. Give me some more engagement. I will start posting more. I just got to see the engagement because it takes some time to get out here, get away from the family to shoot these videos. But as you can see, I'm always doing something. I've got lights, I've got tire stickers, I've got more lights, I've got subwoofers, I've done so much stuff. And on one of my next videos, I'll probably go through and show you my different mods that I have. I'm gonna upgrade those one of these days. But so far, I don't think anybody else has installed anything on this car. I've installed everything. I've actually done my complete sound system. I'm still going to amplify it, but I have upgraded all of the speakers. I even cut in some speakers and mounted them in the dash up there. Let's see if you can see them. You can't see them from here right now, but I've done some things to this car already. I've done so much, and I'm going to continue. I got so many ideas. So if you want to see more of this car, man, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. I always do some crazy things on my build, so just know that this Stinger, this Swinger will not be like any other Swinger that you've ever seen. It will be a one of one. All of my cars have been one of ones, basically. If y'all know me from the Hellcat days, y'all know how I get down. So until next time, I'm out.